What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to LTQ Wrestling Crew. Unfortunate news yesterday. A lot of wrestlers lost their jobs in WWE. You never want to see that. Obviously, after WrestleMania is usually the time they start making releases, making cuts, and they released some surprising names. So QJ and Tears are ready to talk some wrestling today.
Let's do it.
More or less.
Well, there's a long list, and I'll go through it here. If y'all have any thoughts about their careers or where y'all think they should end up, or if they should keep wrestling, feel free to say it. If you don't really know much about them, just say, like, I don't really know a lot about them. So the first one on the list, Braun Strowman. Now, Strowman got brought back. Triple H brought him back. And, his run's been up and down. Obviously, he got injured, and he's definitely looked like he's got older. His knees look like they're shot, but he gave it his all every time he was out there. And obviously, he had some good feuds. I liked him and Jacob Fatu. I liked him and Bronson Reed. I thought both those feuds elevated Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu. Bronson Reed was doing what big men do. He helped elevate them guys, make them look like monsters, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. So to see him get released was kind of surprising to me because he was still getting good crowd reactions. He was still the monster among men. So, Tears, I'll start with you. What is your overall thoughts about Braun Strowman being released?
On one hand, I would like to say it's surprising due to the fact that at the end of the day, he is a former multi-time world champion. He did hold the IC belt, I believe. He was a big enough name, and he was a pretty good, also big man to have just around for situations like that. But on the other hand, it's just like, what were they doing with him since he came back? It was kind of just like he was just another name on the roster. So I'm gonna have to say I'm not honestly that surprised that he got released because it's just one of those things where what do you do with him?
Yeah, I understand that too. Like, there wasn't really a high ceiling for him at this point. QJ, what do you think about Strowman being released?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, like Ted said, he had his moments, won titles, stuff like that. But when he came back, I forgot he was even there. But WWE tends to do that a lot when they're not really using nobody like that. Eventually, they're gonna get rid of you. So, but I do miss him. He did have I do miss a lot of his matches. He will be missed.
Yeah, and who knows if he's going to continue wrestling. He's in his 40s, and like I said, his knees look like they're shot at this point. And I've already heard AEW's not an option. And he has his issues backstage. He's very opinionated, I guess is the word. He doesn't like indie wrestling. He's one of them guys who think it's WWE or nothing, kind of that kind of mindset. So I don't think AEW would really be a good fit, anyways. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Strowman finds something he likes. I mean, he is, a talented guy, and I really liked when he used to go, "I'm not finished with you," and all that with Roman Reigns. That was kind of a fun time, even though they overdid the hell out of that feud. So next name, a lot of fans are pissed off about Dakota Kai, and I don't know. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this. She did make a post like a day or two ago saying, "I miss wrestling," and no, I'm not injured. I don't know if that had to do with her being released, where management saw that and was like, you know what? You're out of here. Maybe she asked to be released and they finally let her go. I don't know what the deal is, but a lot of fans just felt like she could have been a valuable part of the women's mid card division. She just faced Lyra Valkyria like a month or two ago for the title, and they get rid of her. So, Tears, I know you're a big Dakota Kai fan. What are your thoughts about her being let go?
Yeah, this one was a disappointment for me because like I was enjoying her time also in NXT, and I remember for some reason I was always saying like, man, they need to give her a chance for the NXT championship, and I'm just like looking back at it like, honestly, with them doing mid card division, that probably would have been her best ceiling is like a IC or US champion, but now it's just like, well, you date like we talked about before, like now that you debut these mid card belts, why get rid of everybody who could use them? Like, why get rid of your filling for the mid card scene? So I'm gonna say like this is a disappointment for me because it's just like I had a good ceiling for her personally, but well, we'll see how this comes about.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she had a lot of potential to do better. I know she's been hurt a lot. Like she's one of them cases where she has a lot of injuries, but she's been healthy. I mean, she got a decent reaction. She's a great wrestler. I mean, her moveset's like subpar, especially that move where she does like a flip to the back of the knee or what. I don't. It's crazy move. QJ, what do you think about Dakota Kai being let go?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, shocking. I do miss her NXT time, and she was cool on the main roster. I mean, my grab with WWE, why bring those mid titles? I mean, you're gonna need women for it. And she would have fit very well with that, and eventually move to the main. But yeah, I mean, you always get the shocking news when this happens. Pretty sad though, but it's
Yeah,
always bigger.
and
You know what I mean? Always better. Always other companies. That's what people got to realize.
oh, there
WWE
is.
is not all. You know.
It's not. And to go over QJ, I see a lot of people on Twitter posting, "Oh, I'm gonna miss seeing Dakota Kai." Like she isn't dead. She's gonna continue to wrestle. Other companies are already showing interest in her, and she's not even officially because they have a 90-day non-compete, so they can't be another company for 90 days. She's gonna have a lot of suitors. Just watch other stuff, even if you watch highlights or a match or so. WWE is not the only goddamn company in the world, people. Like, please.
Yeah, I
I'm
gotta
tired
get
of
other
seeing.
interest. Got to.
Yeah, it's just annoying because it's like everybody acts like these people died or something. They're like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss seeing Gigi Dolan. I'm gonna miss seeing Dakota Kai. Like they still will be around, just not on WWE. But yeah, hopefully Dakota Kai. I mean, I could see her. I think Impact should go after her for sure. TNA still used to call them Impact. I think they could really use her, even though TNA is being kind of a mess right now with management and everything. AEW. I mean, maybe their women's division is kind of just Mercedes Moné and Tony Storm right now. Everybody else is kind of just there. So I mean, I don't. Well, Megan Bane's been pushed pretty well, but we'll have to see. But hopefully Dakota finds another job somewhere. She will. She's very talented. Speaking of other women, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance tag team. They held the women's tag titles for a little while. Haven't really been on TV in a minute now. Uh, I think Priest, I don't know if he's dating Caden Carter or they're very good friends. They do post TikToks a lot together. He seemed very emotional during his promo last night. He just seemed like he just got done crying or something. And I think a lot of fans forget like these wrestlers are pretty much family. Like when you see your coworkers get released and you got to go out there and do a show right after, it's because these releases came out like right before SmackDown aired or was live. So you can imagine how that's kind of tough. You see a friend lose their job, and you got to go out there and do your job right after. So but Caden Carter and Katana Chance, QJ, any thoughts on them being released?
Yeah, pretty. Honestly, forgot they was on the roster. That's the problem. They gotta start putting these, showcase them on the roster more. But yeah, it is sad when you see, like you said, you're like a big, everybody a big family in the back. So it's like you see people get released. It's like, dang, pretty sad though. Not really too much to say on that one. But pretty sad though.
Nah, I don't really got too much to add on. I mean, I know they were tag champs for a little while. They didn't really get too big reactions. I mean, I don't know what the ceiling for this team necessarily would have been, but the problem is they have women's tag titles and they don't. I mean, they don't really have a lot of teams. I mean, they're kind of throwing teams together. They're throwing people who aren't even a tag team together. They just
Mm-hmm.
got rid of Isla Dawn. I'm surprised Kaylee Ray. I forgot her other name right now. Is still with the company. I mean, I don't know how
Fire.
she's. Yeah, Alba Fire. I'm surprised she lasted this, to be honest, but they did put her with Chelsea Green and Hyper Nevin. So, Tiers, you got any thoughts on Caden Carter and Katana Chance being let go?
It's my opinion is mostly about like the tag team title scene. Is like this does not help it either. Like with the midcard division, it's just like you have tag team belts for the women's division. Why get rid of a tag team for it? Like I'm kind of feeling like the tag belts are now just the Raquel and Liv Morgan belts whenever Liv is not the world champion. So it's kind of just off that you're just getting rid of tag teams. So then what's the point of these belts? Like that seems to be majority of my feeling for a lot of these. It's just like, so what's the point of the belt?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just kind of a waste. Like, why? They might as well just get rid of the women's tag titles. Like, there aren't even a
Ridiculous.
lot of women's tag teams. I mean, Liv's getting ready to go do a movie, so
What's the point?
is
Like,
she? Yeah, so like, are they even gonna be defending these titles? Are they even gonna be around? Like, I don't know. I mean, WWE shouldn't have debuted all these goddamn titles. It's just like AEW. There's too many titles. It's like, oh, we want everybody to have a title. Here's a title for you, for you, for you. Like, it's just a waste. So another woman who got released, Shayna Baszler, which I haven't seen her on TV in a minute, really, since they got rid of Shayna Baszler and her and Zoe Stark. With Zoe Stark, I'm surprised didn't get released, honestly, because I mean, she hasn't done much either. But Shayna Baszler, Tears, any thoughts on her being let go?
I wonder. I don't understand if it was a good idea or not. I personally don't think it was because even with no matter what your opinion is about her, she was a pretty good name to have like in your main event scene. Like she was somebody that you felt serious about. Like she was a serious contender. She was having big feuds against people like Baze. Wow, wasn't ready for that. She was having major feuds with people like Bianca Belair, Charlotte, Becky. I think she had a few in Nia Jax. I could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. But like she was always able, and Ronda Rousey when she was there, she was always one of those people who like if you put her in the main event scene for the women's title, it's believable because of Shayna Baszler. So it's just weird that you get rid of also a main of you. I just realized they get rid of a mid card women's competitor, a tag team women's competitor, and here's a main event women's competitor. Huh. That's weird. But overall, it's just like, why? Like, is there something? I feel like there's something we just don't know about this one, personally.
Could be. I mean, maybe. I mean, I heard she was just working NXT training. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't just kept her on as like a trainer or maybe like a veteran to help out younger talent or a coach or something. I mean, she's very well liked backstage. Like, don't let her like badass on-screen persona fool you. Like, she's very well liked. So like, this one is pretty surprising. But I mean, they weren't doing nothing with her. So I mean, maybe they just don't see anything else. She's like one of them cases for me where it's like NXT, she was so dominant, one of the greatest NXT women's champions of all time. And Vince just wasn't really a fan of her for some reason. I think that Triple Threat of Survivor Series, I forgot who she faced. It was like NXT against main roster against each.
So
Oh, go ahead.
Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Oh, it was that weird one where Triple H like took NXT to fight against.
Yeah, that one. And the match was just not good.
I think it was
Vince,
Becky
I think.
and Ronda.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, and Vince just soured on her. I heard he was like really pissed off about that match, and I don't know if that just changed his viewpoint on Baszler. And then Paul Heyman was in charge, and he had to like dominate the entire Elimination Chamber. That was something I was like, what the hell's going on? Then she just like lost. I think it was just her booking's been up and down, and I don't think she ever really recovered from. I mean, she's had some main events. I mean, she did face Becky at Mania and the Triple Threat Survivor Series, but it's like the last few years, she just hasn't done anything really relevant. It's unfortunate. I'm not the biggest fan of her in-ring work, but when you look at her NXT, and obviously NXT success doesn't translate to main roster all the time, but she definitely should have had a better career on the main roster, in my opinion. But QJ, what do you think about Baszler?
yeah, this one was wasn't like really too big fan of her, but it was still cool seeing on the main event spot she faced. I remember Rhea Ripley in that NXT, still one of the greatest moments. Even though obviously she lost, but just the impact they had on that match. Um, yeah, I mean, they could have still kept her. She could have been like a trainer, something like that. Like I get it, she has an MMA style, so she was really they fans didn't see her as fitting that wrestling really style. But I mean, I would have honestly kept her, but y'all got to realize what WWE does, and I forgot. Honestly, she was there too. But they're gonna just start getting rid of people left and right. That's just how the game goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, and there might be more releases on the way in a few months. Who knows? I mean, there's always releases. Baszler, who knows if she's going to continue to wrestle? I mean, maybe she goes back to MMA. I mean, she's in her 40s, so who knows what she really chooses to do. But hopefully she finds something because she was with WWE for a long time. know exactly when she started, but it's definitely been at least 7, 8 years. I think. I mean, it's been a minute.
I think it
So
was during the second Mae Young Classic.
yeah,
Maybe
something
the
like
first.
that. So it's been a while for her. It's crazy. So more women. Gigi Dolan, which that one kind of surprised me because they put her in this new group with Shotzi and
Tatum
I
Paxley.
can't think of it. Yeah, them two. And I mean, they were kind of featured on NXT. I'm not saying they were as good as Toxic Attraction was, but
They were
I mean,
part
they
of
were
the
featured.
TNA collab as well. Like they were
Yeah.
TNA.
And her fiance's in TNA, so that helps out that relationship and everything. But like, this one kind of was confusing me because she's still young. She's only like 25, 26. So it's like, do they just not see anything for her? I don't know. That's this one. Another one I just didn't really understand. Obviously, she'll find work. I feel like TNA is probably the most logical destination, even though it's weird because WWE releases people. They're working with TNA, and then there's people like Indy Hartwell who go to TNA. So it's just weird. But cheers. What do you think about Gigi Dolan being let go?
Honestly, kind of upset about this one. Like I know I said like I'm Dakota Kai fan, but honestly, I think this one probably upsets me a little bit more than hers because it's like with Dakota Kai, it's just like okay, you watch her for so long, you start to feel like they're not going to do anything with her. For Gigi Dolan, I feel like they didn't even attempt to do anything with her, and I'm kind of agitated about that. I'm not going to lie because she's good. She's fun to watch. She has a great character in my opinion, but we just don't do anything with that. Like really? I don't know. This one, not happy. Not happy.
Yeah, like I don't know if it was because Mandy Rose got released. I know Toxic Attraction was going to be on the main roster. Her, JC Jane, and Gigi, and Mandy Rose, those three. But yeah, like just I mean, I don't watch NXT regularly. I do catch highlights of it. I do see her a lot pop up like in segments, but I never really see her in anything like that stands out. I always see fans talking about like her look and everything, obviously, but I don't know. I mean, it just feels like sometimes WWE, like they say development, and we'll talk about Jakara Jackson here in a few. But like you see people improve and they just get released. It's like, okay, you want people to develop and get better, then you release them. Like I don't get it. But Q, do you got any thoughts on Gigi Dolan? I know you weren't really as familiar with her work, but any thoughts?
Yeah, pretty sad because it's like you're about to have something going, then you just release. Like they got something going, stick with it, and then hey, look, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out, but gotta give them at least give them a chance, you know. They gotta stop doing that. Gotta stop doing that.
They do that a lot, and it's like confusing because like I don't know. I mean, this next name I guess is a kind of I don't even know. The next name's Cora Jade, and this one really surprised me. I mean, they were pushing her and Roxanne Perez to be like the new faces of the women's division for the next decade. I remember like they were really talking about how they're the future of WWE and everything. And obviously, she's had her injuries and everything, but she's only like 23. She's been featured a ton since she's came back. She went to TNA and did like a match or something like recently, and then her and Roxanne Perez were still involved with each other. Like this one's the biggest head scratcher of them all to me because she's young. They were really like high on her, and now she's gone. Like I personally don't understand this one. Tears, any thoughts on Cora Jade being released?
Probably it is a very weird one, but I believe a while ago we heard reports that she is not the most liked backstage. Am I wrong or am I right?
I personally have not heard anything about that, but I wouldn't doubt if that had to do with this for sure.
Well, if it's right, if I'm right, which I'm not gonna say I am or not, then maybe something happened backstage. Like I feel like this one's more than just a simple release. Like there's no way that this one could be just she just her name just popped up in a raffle. Like there has to be something that we don't know about. And that's where I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know why else they'd release her with everything. Like, I don't know. QJ, any thoughts on Cora Jade being let go by WWE?
Yeah, my thoughts. Uh, yeah, she was like you said, popping off, and it's got like they say, got to be something in the back. They ain't telling us something personal, something has to be something. I guess they just kept that on the hush. Oh, raffle, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I hope Cora. I mean, Cora Jade's gonna find work somewhere. She's young. I mean, I know CM Punk was very close with her because they always make jokes about her and
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne are like when AJ Lee's daughters and everything. That's kind of like a little joke they make online and stuff. So she'll be fine. Maybe she'll end up back in WWE one day. She's young. I mean, I'm not putting it past the WWE release people. They bring them back. Release people, bring them back. They always do that shit. So next name, I can't lie. I haven't seen a lot of his work, so I'm not really gonna have a lot to say. Eddie Thorpe. The only thing I know about him is he was in some main events in NXT, and I think he's dating Dakota Kai, which is important. They both got released. QJ, any thoughts on Eddie Thorpe? Are you familiar with anything about this guy?
Not really, not too much.
Okay, yeah, same. Tears. Anything you'd like to add here?
I'm not gonna BS anyone. The only reason I know he exists is because of the game, and it's the thing that makes me go, "Okay, we're doing this." That's all I feel bad for saying that, but it's just like that.
Right.
I don't know him. What?
I don't know. Yeah, I,
He's
mean, I know he's been
and you.
featured. I know he faced Trick Williams, I think, in the main event.
Mhm.
Listen. I don't watch NXT everywhere. I mostly just watch takeovers. I still keep up with highlights and stuff. But I don't watch a lot of Eddie Thorpe, so I mean I can't really say much about him. Riley Osborne, I have no idea who that is. I'll be honest. Jakara Jackson. Now, not a lot of fans are familiar with her. She was another tag team competitor they let go. Lash Legend was her tag team partner, which I think they have a lot of hopes for Lash Legend. But Jakara Jackson was somebody who was showing a lot of improvement in the ring. Like I think it's another case of like not even giving him a chance because her and Lash Legend were like in two tag team matches and they just disappeared off the face of the earth. It's just like weird, but I thought she had potential to be very good. Apparently, like a lot of companies are after her too, like MLW and TNA are after her. So I think a lot of companies see the same thing I did, where it's like she showed a lot of promise and they got rid of her. Like, what's the deal? So, QJ, any thoughts if you are familiar with Jakara Jackson?
All I can say, they got to start giving chance. Just giving a lot of these people a chance. I mean, this ridiculous at this point. And I had a feeling we already like when we started this, like I said, this podcast and stuff. This episode. I had a feeling that it was gonna be some releases because after a while it's always gonna be crazy releases. So yeah, I don't know. They gotta do better.
Definitely agree. Tears, what about you?
I don't know too much about her. I do know that she was in that tag team with Lash Legend, and I know they were in a group with Noam Dar and somebody else we're going to talk about called the Metaphor. One of the worst names I've ever heard. It's a double type name. Like, oh, Metaphor. There's four of them. I'm just like, okay, this is a jobber group. You cannot convince me otherwise. But it's just one of those things to where I feel like a lot of these are kind of just like a jump the gun releases. Maybe I feel like could this just be budget cuts? I know we talked about like they did budget cuts a long time
I'm
ago
thinking that. I'm thinking that too at this point. I don't know.
because they're no matter what we say, their roster is bloated to
Mm-hmm.
all hell.
It could be. I mean, TKO, listen, a lot of fans think Triple H. I mean, Triple H, listen, if he wanted to keep these people, he would.
Yeah, he
So
would.
he had to say and get released. But TKO is the one making all the budget cut decisions. It's their company. I've heard they're favoring UFC more than WWE. Like if they have to make cuts, it's more the WWE side than the UFC side because UFC is obviously their number one company. They own that first and everything. So yeah,
And that
I
tells you
think
enough
budget
right there.
has to be a thing. Yeah. Go ahead, too, if you have anything else to say.
really. I was just like, as I was saying that, that's what came to mind. Is like, because we keep bringing up to where like, what is the reason? What could have possibly been? And as they say, I can't remember the full wording, but the answer that has the least amount of contriving reasons, like what if, whatever has the least amount of what is, tends to be the truth. And budget cuts seems to be so far the easiest thing to say without like any buts.
Yeah, I mean it's probably budget cuts. Like, I mean, whether we like the release or not, like Tier said, WWE has a lot of talent. Like, is any of these releases actually going to affect their bottom line? Hell no, it's not. No, I mean, say what you want. It's unfortunate, but that's business. You're gonna make cuts. And I give Tony Khan a lot of shit because he don't get rid of people. Sometimes you got to clear out your roster. Tony Khan has way too many people on his roster that he's not using.
With him.
It is, and you're paying them to just sit at home on the couch. Like, get rid of them, use them. And Tony Khan's probably going to try to sign a lot of these people, and they're going to just get on the roster, have a big debut, and then disappear into eternity. So, next group, Gallus, which was Wolfgang, Joe Coffey, and Mark Coffey. I can't lie, I've not seen them in forever. Again, I don't watch NXT every single week. I worked NXT UK. Tears, I know you're a big fan of all three of these guys. Any thoughts on them being let go?
Just go back to ICW, go back to Progress. I got nothing. Like, am I upset that they're released? I like them, but it's just like if they ain't doing anything with them, might as well. I mean, like I got Progress. I can watch them there. ICW, that sounds fun too. This one doesn't really affect me that much.
Nah, same. QJ, you got anything to add?
Nah, not really. But like you said, this other company.
Yeah, they'll find work. They're very talented as workers. So the next three names, Tears knows one of them. I know because he mentioned during this group he was talking about. Oro Mensa, is that the one you were talking about, Tears? That was a part of that group. I don't got nothing to add for him. So, and QJ probably don't either. I don't know who the hell this. Yeah. So Tears, anything you like to say about him?
I got nothing. He's just another dude.
Yeah, that's it. I know he's got tattoos and shit. I don't know anything else about him.
He comes out
next
with crazy
name.
goggles.
Okay. Yeah, Javier Bernal. I don't know who that is. I think he's dating the girl that Tears mentioned earlier that was in that group with Gigi and Shotzi. He's married to her, I think.
Oh, actually.
But yeah, that's her husband. So she lost her two group members and her husband, and I mean that's got to be tough mentally. I ain't gonna lie, that's
considering how many things that they just screwed over for her.
Yeah, for real, that's got to be tough because I mean, what's next for her? I mean, your husband just got released. The two people you're in a group with got released or let go or contract not renewed, whatever you want to say. It's tough. Danny Palmer, never heard of her. I don't got much to say. And the last name, Shotzi, and she's had an up and down tenure. She was over for a little bit with that tank she used to ride out on. Then they sent her back down to NXT, and they called her back up. And then some fans didn't really like her. Said she botched a lot, stuff like that. So, QJ, any thoughts on Shotzi not being? She didn't get released, but they didn't renew her contract, basically.
Yeah, this one we know why.
Yeah, she was alright. I forgot about her too. Yeah, a little botchy, but needed more practice. Other than that, probably could have been better after that.
Agreed. Tears, anything you'd like to add on this final name?
I mean, I would say it's the same as like with Dakota Kai. Like it's a familiar name that could have been helpful in the mid-card women's division. She had a different look to hers to like catch people's attention. Plus, the green hair was really a nice touch for her. And also, who can forget coming out in a flipping tank? You can't write that.
Yeah, that was badass. It really helped her stand out.
Was it her or somebody else that was in the tag team with Ember Moon when she was in WWE?
I think it was her, yeah, for a while.
Yeah, I just couldn't recall too much because that was like.
Yeah, there's so much that goes on. Well, that's the release list. Listen, that's not going to be the last one. There's going to be more people released. There's names.
I want to point something out real quick. I saw this meme on Reddit, but it holds so much truth right here. If you're one of those people crying about all these releases, motherfuckers, you know damn well you would not care for them, like even if they were still in WWE. Well, let's be real. Who was really like clamoring for Braun Strowman in the on WWE? Nobody was just like, well, it's Braun Strowman. Yeah, you are not upset. You're just being one of those guys.
It's because they only. It's like one of the saying they only care about you when you're gone type shit. Like they only care about these people in that.
I just hate
and
that.
not say people didn't. Like people cared about Dakota Kai. I did see a lot of people wanting her more featured, but it ain't like everybody was just like on their hands and knees begging her to be on TV. They just act like they're all of a sudden big Dakota Kai fans and all like. Everybody else on this list.
Crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know how fans are. They act like they care when you're gone, but then when you're actually there, that's just like, eh. But like Karrion Kross said, be a good soldier, they say. Don't complain, they say. It doesn't matter what you do. If they release you, they release you. You could be the most perfect worker. You could do everything the company says. You could be a great employee. It doesn't matter. They could get rid of you. You could be the biggest asshole backstage and everything, and they might keep you because you make them money. Look at Shawn Michaels. It doesn't matter what you do. If they release you, they release you. So,
right.
I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, like hopefully you guys enjoyed us breaking down these releases. We'll also have the backlash. I'll probably upload the backlash prediction before this. Actually, probably after. I'll probably upload this tomorrow. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more weekly wrestling content. Peace.